each and every Friday, our friends at Local Waste give us a great opportunity to blow off a little steam. These are all emails we've received to talk@ryanjesperson.com. They're all real. They're all audience members. It's something, as you know, we call Trash Talk. This one from Anne, who says, hey, to those Albertans who will vote to keep daylight savings time, talking about that referendum coming up on Monday, October 18th, never, ever leave our province. Obviously, you can't figure out how to adjust your body's time. I think we should make a law forbidding you from driving to BC or Manitoba or flying to Hawaii or Arizona or Texas or Europe. In fact, anywhere outside what will become our new time zone, Pacific. If you idiots vote to stay in daylight time. She says, imagine Canada not having a mountain time zone. Interesting, right? Canada with just 3 time zones? My animals learn quite quickly how to adopt to time changes. Yours will too, you animals. That isn't really a reason. How many of you keep animals that rely on feeding at a specific time? Do we really make laws for that negligible percentage of our animal population? And says, buck up, Alberta. Vote to go with what other countries have discovered. Stay with the world. That from Anne, who says, don't read my last name. I don't want to hear from anybody on this one. Peter sent me an email to say I'll happily prove my vaccination status as a teacher in a classroom if the school board asks, but it's horseshit that my 120 students don't have to and that the board doesn't have the stones to ask them. Peter then says, please wish everybody a very great weekend. Thanks, Peter, and thanks for showing up in your classroom each and every day. This one from Dr. Fiona Matatal. She's been on the show before. She says this government's policies have not just caused the worst wave of COVID-19 in the country, evidenced by the highest case numbers, highest hospitalizations, highest ICU requirements, and highest death rates, but thanks to this political party, the entire healthcare system is crumbling in front of our eyes. She says Alberta Health Services has been forced to rob Peter to pay Paul. The Paul part, our ICU overcapacity with vaccinated and unvaccinated, for the most part, patients with COVID. The Peter part, our ORs now, our operating rooms, only doing life or limb cases. This was predicted, she says, by medical experts in July, but instead of caution, the Premier decided to start off with his best summer ever, an exercise in Premature Machismo. Great band name, Premature Machismo, that was not only foolish, but has proven deadly. When experts cautioned, what did you and your party and your issues managers do? You mocked the experts. Then, when things started getting bad again, where were you, Premier? Where was your health minister? We're in the thick of it, and the best you can do is come up with a bunk-ass, editable PDF vaccine passport? My kids could do better. You need to hear loud and clear you failed at your job. I see not a shred of evidence that you're working for your constituents. Your silence speaks volumes about who you are and what you stand for. You are politically impotent. That from Dr. Fiona, another great band name. You could have Premature Machismo opening for politically impotent at the festival of whatever you want to call it. This one from Anonymous, who says with 15% of our kids having COVID at their school, let that settle. 15% of the student population, I've gone full mama bear. COVID rates are so high with kids statistically, we will eventually see children die. Some have already come close. More will be impacted for months, years, or even their entire lives with long COVID. When that first child dies, every mama, every grandmama I know will be out with the sidewalk chalk. Kenny kills kids. This is the slogan for 2023, and the history books of how Alberta fared at the end of this pandemic will show that this government failed. That from Anonymous. And how about this one from Jerry, who says, MLA Shane Getson. Let's talk about him. Attacking the psychological and emotional well-being not only of our top healthcare officers, but collaterally the public in brazen fashion. It's criminal. This happens continuously. This government uses and abuses healthcare workers, educators, university profs, and scientists, the ones fighting to save our mountains, parks, rivers, our future, our kids. And the Premier's off on vacation or blaming someone else, like Dr. Dina, like the Prime Minister, or you, or me, says Jerry. It makes Rona Ambrose's endorsement on election night that much more grotesque. and says I'd hope that it'd keep her out of politics, because if she's good with what Jason's doing, that means she'd do it too. Jerry says there was a time I would have unabashedly supported her. I guess we dodged a bullet there. That from Jerry. These are emails we received through the week to talk@ryanjesperson.com. They're emails that we read, every one of them, and we get to as many as we can each and every Friday. This tradition, Trash Talk, pushed out as a separate podcast Saturday mornings, and you'll find it on our YouTube channel too. If somebody would find it cathartic, we invite you to share. Coming up next week on Monday, you might have heard of him, Peter Mansbridge joins me. We're also going to talk and kick off our municipal election episode next Friday. Virtually every candidate looking to be mayor in Calgary and Edmonton. You won't want to miss it. And what's Fat Bear Week? We're going to hear how some of Alaska's biggest bears are shaping up, heading into hibernation. I know that's not what some of you thought it was going to be all about. Have a great weekend. We love you guys. Thanks for being here today, and we'll talk to you soon.